Whoa! Do you guys know what time it is? It's time! No. Excuse me. One Piece. Yo, am I ashy, bro? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to B.D.A. We're here to talk about One Piece chapter 1000. Huh? What was that? Okay, we're here to talk about the 5 characters who can still probably beat Luffy, not including the Yonko. I know. You're like, oh my God, here this guy goes again with the power scaling shit, but I'm in.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Now, we always talk about pirates, the revolutionaries and the Marines, but what if you were just a regular citizen in One Piece? Would you ever trust the world government to have your back in a time of need when you need berries? Definitely not trusting a celestial dragon to be fair to me, but it would be great if the citizens in One Piece had today's sponsor, Dave. Dave is a banking app on a mission to build the best possible products to level the financial playing field. Dave is a banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. There's no interest and no credit check needed. There's a lot of anxiety and stress that comes with certain expenses, and traditional cash advances just make those feelings worse. But Dave is the enemy to your enemy, and its role is to take the fear out of not having enough cash. Dave is the ultimate antidote to not feeling left out over the summer when needing more cash before payday. And look, I remember being in a pinch for cash many times before and wish I had Dave there to back me up. Like after seeing the prices for the new DreamCon tickets, I needed Dave to help me in a pinch. And all you need to get Dave going is a mobile device with access to the internet on either Apple iOS 10.3 or higher or Android 4.1 or higher. And you must have a valid email address and sufficient storage space on your mobile device. So start banking better and download Dave today at dave.com/BDA. That's dave.com/BDA. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve. Member FDIC. I'll preface my list with this because we'll have honorable mentions as well, but just want to preface it by saying all of these matchups, in my opinion, could go either way. I think Luffy's at a point where his power is so absurdly broken that even though these people have a chance, Luffy could absolutely beat any one of these people. I firmly believe that. And if that's not enough for you, and you're still saying, why you even? Fuck off.
But wait!
Like the video first though, and subscribe, then fuck off. Because we don't just talk power scaling, but we like to do it. It's fun, it's fun. So we're not gonna waste any more time. You know what you're here for. Kick up, eat some popcorn, drink some, I don't know, some milk, and let's get into the list. So, first off, honorable mentions. It's people that I think could beat Luffy, but I think Luffy's just way too strong for them at this point. So I'm just gonna give my honorable mentions. First, Nami. I think Nami has insane conquerors hockey. She could, okay, serious list, serious time. All right, serious time. Sengoku. Sengoku is a relic of the past, one of the old man trio. You know, I was gonna go through each old man trio because those are the 3 honorable mentions: Sengoku, Rayleigh, and Garp. The reason why these 3 are so dangerous is because they were powerhouses in their prime. And yes, they've gotten older, but Rayleigh just proved that even with his clout, he had enough, and he had like his advanced conquerors as well. That was enough to scare Blackbeard away. So Rayleigh, being as experienced as he is, being a sword user, I think more than anyone, I'd probably give him, well, right behind Garp, I guess, him and Garp, the best chance to probably beat Luffy. But I think Luffy's just too insanely broken at this point. I think Garp, Sengoku, and Ray lose to Luffy at this point. That's just my humble opinion, but those are the honorable mentions. I tried to scour the One Piece characters and we could, you know, create scenarios in which Luffy could lose. But for the most part, Luffy is a top 10 character at this point. Gear 5 provides too much, and also it has a restart button. Like if Luffy runs out of gear 5, shrivels up, pump, Viagra, he's back up again. It is insane, and there seems to be no real drawback. I've mentioned it before, like why isn't there a drawback to Luffy using gear 5 in succession? People are like, why do you want Luffy to have a drawback? Well, he's had a drawback every single gear. And also the power that comes with that in anime sense, typically when you get great power, you get great drawback. Like Ichigo, the final Gesuga Tensho. It was amazing. Huge drawback. For Gear 5, I think a drawback will come, especially with his heart being the drums of liberation. It's funny because someone in that same chapter review, I went back and I was responding to comments, and someone said that Meg Thee Stallion's ass cheeks could be the drums of liberation. And I agree. Let's get back on track. Here are the 5 characters that I think could still beat Luffy even with his absurdly broken, insane, crazy, nonsensical power of Gear 5. Let's get into it. Okay, I know this is cheating, but I established the rules. These are my runes. This is my mirror world.
Okay.
And the first character is Imu. Okay, at first, I was skeptical about Imu being a powerhouse or being the final boss or final villain. I thought Agurase were gonna just fuse and fight for Imu, or Imu was gonna use him like pain. I'm not thinking that crazy anymore. However, I do think Imu has to be insanely strong. With just the ability to wipe away Lelouch like Imu did, there's something else going on there. It could just be an ancient weapon, sure, but I think Oda is setting up Imu to be the final villain and the final antagonist that Luffy will have to face. People are saying, oh, but we'll talk about that man at some point, but I think Imu is going to be insanely strong. And I think currently, Luffy, as strong as he's grown, right? All the power-ups he's gotten in Wano, all the flashbacks, all that shit, he would still ultimately lose to Imu. But Imu could be weak as shit, and Luffy could just one-shot Imu like Spannet. Very, very underwhelming conclusion. However, it's a possibility, but my first character is Imu. Let's move on. Okay, the next character, of course, guys, these are not in any order. It's just 5 characters that we have. So just don't throw a fit, right? The next character we have, Mihawk. Yes. I'm just gonna call him an emperor. The guy who could be an emperor based off of his strength and feats and portrayal, but he's not. Why do I think Mihawk is so stronger than Luffy? Because Mihawk is as strong as shit. And based off of everything that's been portrayed in this chapter, or this recent chapters, Mihawk is at least as strong as Shanks using Haki in a serious fight. Because Mihawk and Shanks used to duel. And people say, well, it was so long ago. Well, you think Shanks continued to get stronger and Mihawk didn't? The world government, well, Oda's using the world government by letting us know Mihawk is 100% the strongest sword user, or the most skillful sword user. He has the most skill. This brings up so many arguments, right? And we've done these videos ad nauseum, but quickly, let's do an abbreviated version here, okay? Mihawk versus Shanks. I don't think Mihawk is telling Shanks to turn his Haki off. All right, bro, no Conqueror's Haki. We can only use observation and armament, but don't take off my observation with your Conquerors or whatever you do. Let's just fight fair and square, okay? All right, bro, let's do this. I don't think that's happening. They're just fighting. And they're fighting with swords. And Mihawk is strong enough to stand up to Shanks's overwhelming Conqueror's Haki, overwhelming armament, and with his observation, whatever the hell he can do, Mihawk is standing up to all of that. And I mentioned before, Mihawk's epithet was going to be clairvoyant. Off of that alone, assuming Mihawk has advanced Conquerors, which fighting someone like Shanks and being a better or stronger swordsman than Shanks means, he is at a level that I don't think Luffy has reached yet. Mihawk is. In my opinion, he would beat Luffy. That's just how I feel about it. I think Luffy still has some growing to do. Even with Shanks's Haki, he has growing to do. And Oda pointed out in Wano that sword attacks, again, he's not weaker to sword attacks, they're just more effective. The world's strongest swords user, I think he'd give him a problem. So Mihawk is one of those characters, again, it could go either way. Luffy could unlock gear 5.5 or do something else. I don't think it's definitive, but if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Mihawk. A good amount of money currently, because things could change in a chapter or two, who knows. Next character, this may or may not be controversial, Aokiji. I tend to believe that Aokiji is one of the more underrated characters, and he gets shit on for the weirdest of reasons. Aokiji's major thing is that she lost to Akainu in the battle of 10 days. And we have our Akainu stans. We have people that love this man for killing Ace and just being an absolute menace to not only the people of Marineford and some of the Marines of Marineford, but also the citizens of Ohara. Akainu is heralded as the strongest Marine, right? The strongest Marine. Currently, at least. Aokiji fought this man for 10 days with, we're presuming, an elemental disadvantage. We don't know. We really don't know, but probably 10 days. And Greenbull did show us that you can create, I guess, techniques that could counter your greatest weakness. Now, Aokiji, maybe he did that in the midst of the battle. Either way, fighting Akainu for 10 days, no small feat. This shows that the gap is not that sizable. Now, also, we could speculate as much as we want to. Aokiji, they thought in Marineford he was stabbed by Haki. Aokiji, Oda could reveal, that was future sight. He could reveal that. And Aokiji, we know the capabilities of his devil fruit power. He could freeze over the ocean in an instant, freeze waves. He has insane techniques. Of course, he's an admiral, so he has all the Rukushiki techniques, former admiral, I should say. And I think at this point, it can go either way between Aokiji and Luffy, but he is a character that definitely has a chance, who's not a Yonko, who could beat Luffy 100%. If you disagree, let me know below. I'm willing to hear you out. The next person, and I was talking about this man earlier, and that's our boy Akainu. And it's for similar reasons, but this is the man that won. Okay, he won the 10-day fight. He's getting the portrayal as the strongest Marine currently. I don't think Luffy's there yet. I think Akainu is as strong as any of the Yonko. It could go either way with any of the Yonko. Personally, I think Shanks and Kaido are the strongest, but it's going to be a tough matchup for them. And people will say, well, Luffy's stronger than Kaido now. I think Luffy loses to them, right? That's why I excluded the Yonko here, because I think Luffy still isn't on their level as portrayed by the things Shanks can do and just how Mickey Mouse's win was against Kaido. We're not going to get into that. However, I think Akainu is on the level that Luffy just hasn't attained yet, and he probably would lose to that man currently, even with his broken, ridiculous Gear 5 power. Oda hypes Akainu to all hell. He says he has the strongest, at least one of the strongest offensive powers in the series. We saw just how devastating his power could be against Whitebeard, where one swipe took off half of Whitebeard's head. And again, if we presume the story works for everyone else the same way it does for Luffy, fighting someone for 10 days that's probably almost as strong as you and winning, I would assume you get a hockey bloom, and you're even stronger than you were back then, and you're pretty menacing back then. So Akainu's 100% one of the people that I could see defeating Luffy even after his Gear 5. And last but not least, and this is probably the most speculative out of all. No, Eamon's the most speculative. No, this is the most speculative because we haven't really seen a show of power from this man. And this man is Monkey D. Dragon. Why am I putting him above Luffy? Because he's his dad. I don't know, and his grandfather's strong, so I'm assuming his dad is strong. He's the leader of the revolutionaries. I was tempted to put Sabo on this list, but in my heart of hearts, I don't think Sabo's stronger than Luffy. But he could be on this list. Oh, you know what? Retroactively, let's go back and throw Sabo in the honorable mentions, right? So we're gonna have a list at the beginning with Garp, Sengoku, Rayleigh, and Sabo's gonna be there, but I'm not gonna address it in the past. You're just gonna find out about it now if you've been here. So people that made it this far, that's pretty cool, right? Subscribe to the channel. Drop a like if you've made it this far. But the final person, Dragon. For the longest, Dragon was my strongest person in the series because he was Luffy's dad, right? And the dad of the main characters. Okay, typically they're never that strong. Maybe Hunter x Hunter, but Jing, I don't know how many people have Jing as the strongest in Hunter x Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Goku, Bardock was pretty alright, but Frieza was folding him. I guess Naruto, come on. The fourth Hokage was a menace. Ichigo, okay, we don't have a great track record in anime. I digress. It's the anime dad thing. Okay, and the fact that his dad is active and he's also a D and he has so much mystery, the world's most dangerous criminal, most craziest criminal. The translation idiots are going to be in the comment section. Well, it's not the most dangerous, it's the most criminal, it's the most worst, it's the most, I don't give a fuck.
We don't care.
He's the worst one. He's the worst one. He's on the list. I think you could definitely beat Luffy. No idea what power he has. No idea what devil fruit he has. I just think that nigga is strong. And he's his dad. Like him being stronger than his dad already, I don't like it. It's just headcanon, but he's on my list. All right, so let's recap. The 5 people that I think could currently beat Luffy. And again, I preface this. I'm not going to preface it again. Imu, Mihawk, Aokiji, Akainu, and Dragon. Those are the guys. All right? But guys, give me your thoughts. Do you think any of these people come close? Am I tripping? Right? Has Brago lost it again? Let me know. I'm open to criticism. Not really, because I just block you if you're rude. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about it? Do you think Luffy is already top 1? Do you think he's already within the top 5? Do you think only the Yonko can handle him? Has he already gotten there? Give me your thoughts. Again, this is a lot of speculation. Just having fun with it. The power scaling programmers, stop. Just drop a like and bounce. But nah, like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to my members. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.